They are extremely sweet, City Championship Wrestling, because they take the slings and arrows that I might fire at them and say, it's all good, because we need to learn, I suppose, what they're saying, and it can't all be good. And indeed, that is the case with City Championship Wrestling. We had the 60-minute slam, first part, last week, was it? And they threw in an awful lot of matches for belts. This one, number 2, they don't. But I tell you, Midas and H5, Ivan H5 Harrison, are back. They've been smacked up a bit, but they've come back. They don't like Jay Abrams. Their chat and the ring filling up leads to a 6-man tag later on, which is your main event. It's rather good actually later on, because it's a 6-man elimination match. They don't tell us that when we start the match, I don't think, unless I miss something, but that often happens with City Championship Wrestling. So, first of all, we've got Asian Gaines, whose work I like a lot, versus Joe Eaton. There's good mat work here, but it finishes really quickly with a back suplex from Gaines and a sudden pin. I don't know if Eaton was knocked out or something happened, but that's really short, and I was just warming up. Then we've got the Spider, THEE Spider, who is telling everybody about how he's been badly done to, and he rather upsets Paul Bowser, who says, you know, if you carry on like this, I will never book you again. Yeah. I mean, I knew that I thought he was the boss man, but bloody hell. So anyway, he has a 2-on-1 match against Lynch coming up, because management doesn't sound like he's been, you know, the Lycan Alex Lynch, doesn't sound like he's been badly done by, because he's got a 2-on-1 match with Tommy Rinks. Well, he would have had if Alex Lynch hadn't found him early on and beaten him up, and then carries him in on his shoulder and dumps him. So we start with the Spider versus Lynch match, and I mean, the Spider goes for it. Two chops. Tommy Rinks' graphic is then put up. Not in the match, mate. Not yet, anyway. Hint, hint. And then we've got a spinebuster for a 2 count from Lynch. Rinks then gets on the apron. There's a Spider drop kick. Rinks gets in, picks up the much bigger Alex Lynch, hits a Falcon Arrow, but Lynch wins because of his manager's distraction. And I wanted to see more of this as well. I know you've got to get everything into an hour, because they've said it's a 60-minute slam, but you've got to cut the first match out, mate. Although I like Asian Games, oh dear, what's going to have to go? You're going to have a 90-minute slam, aren't you? Anyway, Ultra Divine versus Tie and Die. That's Ryan Matthews and KJ Reynolds. And Ultra Divine is Mr. Divine and Mr. Ultra, of course, or are Mr. Divine and Mr. Ultra, are fighting each other. 2 out of 3 falls, this one, for the title. They're the tag team titles. They fought last week. It was all right. So you get some wrist lock work to begin with, counters, a hammer lock then, counters, which is nice, I like it. They've got time. There's a nice fireman's carry into a tie or die spear. In fact, it kind of hops up into the fireman's carry, which causes, the spear causes a crucifix bomb for the first pin for the champs. The fight's then taken to the crowd, fans are involved, there's a nasty Matthias chop block, a dragon screw, and a hot tag to Darian Ultra from Mr. Divine, then a kick, some splashes. He slams one onto the other and splashes both of them for a pin on both of them, 2 count, and then they get the double vertical suplexes, do the challengers, which I love, for ages, and they get the pin. It's 1-1, but then you get the Divine Ultra assisted suplex. Harley Rock comes in then, hits Matthias because he's going to have to hit someone to get the DQ so that his mates in Tie or Die can get the pin. It was cheap, and even though Third Degree then come in and attack Ultra Divine, who were supposed to be good guys, aren't they? And Third Degree, even though they're being egregious, get a chant. That's not a good way to go. You don't expect that. These are supposed to be good guys. The bad guys are coming and beating them up. they're the ones who are getting the chance. That's not good. City Championship Wrestling are going to have to watch what they've done here. And as I said, it was incredibly cheap, and I don't like that. Here's your main event, it's that 6-man. Joseph Antonio Guerrero, and Tashuk, and Jay Abrams, who are all together in Abrams' army, because you know that he's on his own now, so he's created an army, because what's his name? Andre Kabashi's gone, I think. And they're fighting Jack Delaney and Ivan H5 Harrison with Midas and King Kong Coleman. So they shouldn't lose here. There is some Delaney and Guerrero mat work, which is nice actually. And Abrams working on him as well. He's the bigger man. Tashuk gets a big chop, chokes as Guerrero distracts the ref. They're working well together. Abrams gets a slam. There's a Guerrero elbow from the top. H5 then gets the hot tag because he needs to. Hits some clotheslines. Holds Guerrero as he comes off the top. Hits the world's strongest slam. Then a Vader bomb. Then they're all in. Guerrero gets a Meteora to the back of H5's head. Or was it Coleman? I think it was Coleman's head. Then Midas has to get on the apron. Hits Tashuk. Tashuk hits him back. They tumble to the outside. Harrison fights Tashuk to the back. They're eliminated. Double count out. Coleman attacks Guerrero. Beals him. Smacks Abrams as well. Hits a headbutt. Abrams tries the headbutt on him first. Never going to work. As Paul Bowser tells us. Never going to work. Headbutt. Crowd are a bit silent at this point. And I'll tell you why that is. Because we've lost the crowd sound completely. Just the commentary. Andre Kabashi. Not Andre Kabashi. I've got him on my mind, haven't I? Jay Abrams then bails. Then we get the crowd sound back, but the commentary's very echoey, and it's kind of distracting me a bit. There's a nasty Coleman DDT and a holy shit chant. It was high and nasty and spiked and horrible. Delaney then gets a tornado DDT, and Guerrero is eliminated by DQ because he comes in and smacks both of them, I think. It's Coleman and Abrams then. Abrams just bails, bows and leaves. And the good guys win, but then the heels come back in as they celebrate. You should have realised these eyes in the back of your head. There's a fireball from Tashuk, which was apparently for, I think it was for Delaney, wasn't it? But Coleman gets it in the eyes, and there's a big angle coming with this, surely. It was alright, it set some stuff up. It didn't have the kind of, well, look at all these titles being fought for. This is really important stuff. Didn't have any of that. What it did have was really, really good angle stuff. There weren't too many interviews. We got some egregious finishes, which is something that City Championship Wrestling do, which I'm not delighted about. And you need to set those up a lot better. There needs to be more of a frenetic feel before you can really give us several of those. But you know, with all the factions in there, this could be, if it's done properly, really, really good. But done properly, aye, that's the rub. Ta-ta.